everyone, it's Max, and today I am here with my April TBR Cards edition. So this month I am quite excited. I don't really have any plans for April. I am finishing up a secret TBR. I have 2 more books in it for April. So the first week is going to be taken up by those books. The first week of April will be taken up by the secret TBR, but then the vlog will finally be coming out in perfect time for the last book's release. That's all I'm gonna say. So TBR Cards is my monthly TBR game where each card in a deck responds to a different prompt. The 4 suits are different genres, so Heart is fantasy, Diamond is sci-fi, Club is fiction, and Spade is other. It was nonfiction, but I just don't read enough nonfiction and I just decided to change it. So it's just kind of a different combination of prompts. So the amount of cards that I pull is 6, but if I do pull a duplicate, then I have to pull an extra 1, and for however many duplicates I pull, that means however many extra cards I have to pull as well. So without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, card number 1. 5 of Hearts. So the first card that I pulled was the 5 of Hearts, which is to read a fantasy arc, and for this I'm going with Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. This is about a woman who is kind of run out of her village and she's pregnant and she has twins. And while she's trying to keep her twins alive, her body is going through some weird metamorphosis. I am hoping that this is fantasy. I'm hoping that this is her body's actually going through some sort of shift to an animal perhaps or something, and it's not just a metaphor for something else. So because this is the only real fantasy arc I have on my NetGalley shelf that's coming out this month or next month, and so I want to read it, so I am hoping that there is some sort of fantastical element to it. Fingers crossed. Card number 2. The 7 of Diamonds. All right, so the next card that I pulled was the 7 of Diamonds, and this is to read a middle grade sci-fi. And for this, I'm going with Trickster's Choice by Tamora Pierce. This is my Tamora Pierce book of the month. Yes, this is probably more fantasy, but you know what? I am just going with it. It's my game, my rules, and this follows Alana's daughter. She wants to become a spy instead of a knight, and then she is kidnapped by a warring kingdom, and she kind of tries to infiltrate their system. This is the first book in a duology that follows her. I am going to be listening to the audiobook, and this is the last series I have to read by Tamora Pierce. I do still have to read the Tempest and Slaughter, but it's the only book out, so there is no other continuation yet. So it is kind of crazy that I have reached the last Tortle series. I've been reading this for over a year, and I am very excited. Card number 3. The 8 of Spades. All right, the next card that I pulled was the 8 of Spades, which is to read a TBR vet. And for this, I am going with Spine of the Dragon by Kevin J. Anderson. This has been on my TBR for quite a while, and I just have not gotten to it yet. And I am very excited. This has just been staring at me for months. It's on my 5-star predictions video, and I am just so excited. This is about a world where centuries and centuries, maybe even millennia ago, there were 2 different species created. There were the god Kerr created, and they were created to destroy the dragon Osis. Well, they do it, and the Wraith disappear, and the humans are left alone. Now it's centuries, millennia later, and they believe it's all a myth, that the Wraith were never real, the dragon was never real, but the Wraith are back to slay Osis again, and they are expecting the humans to be their slaves, because in the beginning, the humans were their slaves. I am very excited. It's a nice, wonderful, floppy paperback, which we love. I also do have the audiobook for this. It was I got audiobook deal emails, and this was one of them, so I did get it. Once I finish Trickster's Choice, I will be picking this one up, but I can also read it physically too if I have the time. Card number 4. The Jack of Spades. All right, the 4th card that I pulled was the Jack of Spades, which is to read a booktuber favorite. For this, I am going with the third and final book in the Curse So Dark and Lonely series, A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I am so excited. So the first book follows Harper, who is a human from Washington, D.C., and she walks, like, kind of interrupts a kidnapping in process, and she saves the woman who's being kidnapped by this guy, but instead Harper is kidnapped and she's spirited away to this other world where she learns there's a curse on this prince where he relives like the same season over and over again, and each time the season restarts he gets another woman, and he has till the end of the season to make her fall in love with him, and if it doesn't work, I think they return the woman or the woman dies. I can't remember. And so Harper is now the woman that, like, he's trying to get her to fall in love with him. I really enjoyed the first book. Second book kind of went in a direction that I didn't love. We started following more characters, which I appreciated, but I also just, like, I don't know, I didn't care as much about the other characters, and we didn't really get Harper's point of view. Like, I'm trying to remember, it's been a year, and I think it was really just like we got like two new characters' point of views. I mean, one of the characters isn't new, but he is like a new like main character. And then for the third one, I believe we're gonna have everyone's point of view, and I'm a little nervous. The ending of the second book makes me think that this is going in a direction that I just really don't want it to go in, and I am very scared. It's also very short. I'm pretty sure I checked, and it is just not long. It's like just over 400 pages. So like to wrap up a whole trilogy and have it just over 400 pages, especially because I'm pretty sure the first two were longer. And so I'm just a little nervous about this book on a whole, but I'm also excited because I've been wanting to read it. I've been looking forward to it. This series is a booktuber favorite. I feel like a lot of people read this series and enjoy it. I am one of them, don't get me wrong. I really liked A Curse So Dark and Lonely. And then I can't remember, A Heart So Fierce and Lonely was the second one. And I didn't like it as much, but I still enjoyed it. So I am hoping to like this one as well.
Card number 5. Oh, the 5 of Hearts again.
All right, so my fifth pick was a duplicate with the 5 of Hearts, which means I am going to have to pick another card, but I have to do another fantasy arc. And I am nervous because I don't have any more fantasy arcs that I really want to get to right now that are like, I need to get to them. So I am going to choose The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. I have been reading the series every month, like one book a month since I got this arc, and I am finally here. It is finally time to read the arc of the 4th book, and I am nervous. So I really liked the first one. I read the first one like 2 summers ago, like the summer of 2019, and I listened to the audiobook, and honestly I can't remember a lot of what happens. I do remember the end. And so then when I read the second book in February, I really enjoyed it because I could see where the second book connected to the first book. And yes, this series is a series of standalones, but the third one really didn't feel like it followed the events of the first one at all. And I just kind of like wondered like why they're even in the same series. I guess it's because they're in the same galaxy. And the third one, like, yes, one of our characters that we follow is Ashby's sister, but it just didn't feel like connected at all. And the plot, there was like no plot, so I had a little bit of an issue with it. So I am nervous about the 4th book because it takes place on this planet that is like uninhabitable basically, but people just use it to like pit stop. It's a pit stop planet. But then when something happens, like all these people are stuck on this planet, and we follow like 3 or 4 characters during this time of being stuck. I am like hoping that like one of those characters is part of the crew of the first book or just something, so that, because I just feel like, I don't know, this is why I have an issue with series that are just like standalones. Like, I just think like, why is this in this series then? Like, it makes no sense. Like, why aren't these just standalones? And they're just like, when I go into a series, I go in expecting there to be some sort of overarching plot. I expect there to be connections between each book. And the first and second book worked because the characters of the second book some of them were characters in the first book. So that like, I already felt connected to them. That was not the case in the 3rd book, and I am nervous that it's not going to be the case in the 4th book either. We shall see. I'll let you know.
Card number 6. the 8 of Hearts.
All right, what was supposed to be my last card, card number 6, was the 8 of Hearts, which is to read a book by a new author. And for this, I had multiple options, honestly. I had a lot of options, and I don't know why I chose this one. Maybe it's because I've heard so many things about it. Maybe it's because it's not super long, but that is Ray Bear by Jordan Ifweko. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I probably am. I apologize. This is about a girl or a woman, I'm not quite sure how old she is, who is sent to compete in this, to become one of the Crown Prince's like 11 royal guards, or like 11 like, I don't know, assistants, something, confidants. But she is actually sent there by someone who is wanting her to kill the prince. And I believe she has like a magical bond on her that is like bind on her that is making sure she kills him. And I think she starts to either get feelings for the prince, or they become friends or something, and she realizes she doesn't want to kill him. I am very excited. I have heard amazing things. I've seen this everywhere. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this everywhere. I've seen like people buy it. I have not seen many people read it. Of course, I haven't been watching reading vlogs of like anyone's recently. I've been in a little bit of just like, I don't know, I don't want to like watch anything recently. And that extends to like TV, movies, booktube. Like this isn't just like a booktube thing. It is just like a rut that I am in. But I did see Reagan from Prue's Project's reading vlog of this, and she seemed to really enjoy it. So I'm very excited. I really do want to read this, and I'm very pumped to do so. And the cover, can we just talk about this cover? I think it's gorgeous. I think it's just a gorgeous cover, so I'm very excited. Should we check under the dust jacket, see what's going on there? We definitely should. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm so excited.
And what is hopefully the last card, card number 7. The Ace of Hearts.
All right, and for our last card, card number 7, it is the Ace of Hearts, which is to read a book by an auto-read author. And I am so angry with myself. The book is at my dad's house. I forgot to bring it to my mom's house, and that is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Yes, it's finally time for me to read this. I just wasn't able to read it in March, and it came out in March. So I am so excited. This is the sequel to Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This follows the children of Tessa and Will and like all the characters from the Infernal Devices. And I am excited. I did not love the first book. I read it when I was traveling from LA back home to Idaho when COVID hit, so like it doesn't really fit with like great memories. But I don't know, something about the plot just isn't feeling like super great. But there is a fake engagement trope, which hello, between like two of our main characters, so I am very excited for that. I am a little nervous because our main character is Cordelia Carstairs. I really like Cordelia. I like the characters. And I'm just like, there is Anna Lightwood, who is gay. Gay. I definitely think she's gay, and she is amazing. And I kind of ship her with Cordelia because they're like good friends, and Anna like brings out like a little bit of like Daredevil in Cordelia, and I feel like they work really well. I like barely know Ariadne, who's supposed to be Anna's love interest, and I am into the two of them. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping the fake engagement makes me get more into Cordelia and the love interest that she's supposed to have. We'll see. I am very excited though. I do love Cassandra Clare. Right before I read the first book of this series, I got this tattoo, which is the Parabatai rune. And this, I got this with my best friend when we were in Las Vegas for spring break last year. And so we both got it. And so now I do feel like an extra connection to this year, like to Cassandra Clare's books. And so I am really excited to read this next installment. We'll see how it goes. All right, everyone. I feel like this was kind of a mess. I don't know why. I just like feel like, I don't know. I actually knew the synopses though of the book, so that's exciting. Usually when I go into this, especially with ARCs, I'm just like, I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna read it anyways. At least I knew what these books were about, right? All right, thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in any of these books and what I have to say about them, keep an eye out for my vlogs, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.